right, let's get right into it. If you're trying to build a business online, you know that traffic is pretty much everything. But what if one of the best ways to get that traffic was hiding right in plain sight? We're talking about Facebook comments, and today we are breaking down 5 very specific comment styles that will turn what you write into automatic profile visits.
But first, let's just address the big frustration in the room. You know the feeling, right? You spend all this time crafting what you think is a great post, you hit publish, and you hear nothing but crickets. It really feels like you're just shouting into the void. It is such a common problem, but the fix isn't some secret algorithm hack. Nope, it's all about understanding a little bit of human psychology.
So, here's our game plan for this little mini masterclass. We're going to start with the traffic problem itself. Then we'll dive into the psychology of why people are so hesitant to comment. From there, we'll get into the good stuff, your new toolkit with 5 powerful comment styles. Then we'll show you how to turn that into actual leads. And finally, we'll zoom out and see how this all fits into a real system for growth.
Let me be absolutely clear about this. Traffic is the lifeblood of your online business. I mean, without people seeing your stuff, nothing else you do even matters. And the key to unlocking that traffic, especially on a platform like Facebook, is getting real, genuine engagement. It's the signal to the algorithm, and way more importantly, to other people, that you actually have something valuable to say.
So why do people hold back? I mean, why don't they just jump into the conversation? Well, it pretty much boils down to one single, powerful, subconscious feeling. We're talking about social risk. Think about it this way. A public comment isn't really just a reply. It's kind of a performance. Suddenly, you're on a stage, visible to all your friends, followers, critics, and even complete strangers. And subconsciously, people worry about looking dumb, about saying the wrong thing, or maybe even getting called out. That little bit of hesitation is exactly what kills engagement before it even starts. And here's a perfect example of how to fix it. On the left, you've got this interrogative comment. It just feels like a test, right? It puts the other person on the defensive immediately. But look at the one on the right. It's collaborative. It invites them into a friendly conversation, and it totally lowers that social risk. It's the difference between being interrogated and just having a coffee chat. So here's the key takeaway. The best strategy isn't choosing between public or private. It's using both in a sequence. You start with that warm, low-pressure comment out in the open. That's your signal that you're authentic and easy to talk to. Then, once they reply or send you a friend request, you move the real conversation over to the DMs. That's the safe space where a genuine relationship can actually start to build. All right, now we're getting to the core of it. This is your brand new engagement toolkit. These are the 5 specific comment styles you can literally start using today to make people so curious that they just have to check out your profile.
First up, we have the Insight add-on. Now with this, you're not just saying, "I agree," you're actually expanding on the idea. This immediately makes you sound more thoughtful and puts you on the same level as the creator, not just as a fan. It triggers a little thought in their head that says, this person really gets it. And that right there, that's the spark of curiosity.
Next is the relatable experience. This one is all about making a pure human connection. When you share a similar struggle, you're showing you're authentic, that you've been on that same journey. People see a piece of themselves in your story, and that relatability is such a powerful trigger that makes them want to find out who you are. Number 3 is what I call the thoughtful reflection. This goes way beyond a surface level "I agree." It shows that you have emotional intelligence and that you've actually taken a second to process the message. This makes the original poster feel seen and understood, and it makes everyone else reading see you as someone who's really perceptive.
I love this one. The agreement with a perspective shift. You start by agreeing, which builds that instant rapport, but then you add a little twist that reframes the whole idea. This makes you sound incredibly insightful, and it sparks a ton of curiosity about what other unique perspectives you might have.
And finally, we have the short, powerful statement. These are just mysterious, confident, and they're packed with emotion. They don't give away the whole story, which almost forces people to click on your profile just to figure out who you are and why you sound so certain. Trust me, mystery is a huge driver of clicks.
Okay, a quick but very important warning here. Whatever you do, please avoid these kinds of comments. "Great post, love this," a couple of fire emojis. I mean, the algorithm might count them for half a second, but actual human beings completely ignore them. They add zero value, they create zero curiosity, and they get you absolutely nowhere.
Okay, so you've crafted the perfect comment using one of those styles. What happens next? How does this actually turn into real business results?
This is where we connect all the dots, from sparking that initial curiosity all the way to generating a real lead. This right here is the entire goal. It is not about getting a like on your comment. It's about writing something so insightful or so relatable or so mysterious that someone literally stops scrolling, pauses, and thinks to themselves, who is this person? That one thought is the trigger for the single most important action they can take, visiting your profile. And here's the funnel that this creates. It's a chain reaction. That one strategic comment leads to a profile visit. That visit then turns into a friend request or a follow. That new connection opens the door for a real conversation in the DMs. And that conversation, that's where you solve problems and generate a real lead for your business. It all starts with one comment.
Now let's zoom out for a second, because while this commenting skill is incredibly powerful, it's really just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Real, sustainable growth isn't about just using random tactics. It's about building an entire system.
You know, far too many people are just out there guessing. They're posting randomly, commenting randomly, and just hoping that something sticks. But that's not a business strategy. That's a lottery ticket. Real growth comes from understanding the psychology, mastering the engagement, and plugging it all into a proven system that works for you over and over again.
And a complete system looks a little something like this. It's got deeper Facebook training, it has automation to handle all the tedious work, email systems to nurture your leads, multiple traffic strategies, and of course, a central profit center where you actually make your money. That artful commenting we just talked about, that's the front door to this entire structure.
So the real question for you is this. Are you ready to stop guessing and to start building a real system? A system where every single action, from one little comment to a full email campaign, works together to grow your business predictably. If your answer is yes, and you want the complete system that's behind all of these engagement strategies, including all the Facebook training, automation plans, traffic plans, and how to build your own profit center, then just comment the word hustle below, or use the link that's provided. You'll get access to the entire mega link, all the bonuses, and everything you need to stop guessing and start building your business for real.
Yeah, hustle bear in the building. Adrenaline truth, this that run up the hill grind. Pressure make diamonds, I've been cutting through the steel line. Dreams don't chase you, better get it while the will grind. Legacy's a blueprint I've been building on the real time. If fear's in the room, I'm the one to make it goes quick. Faith in my chest, watch me load it like a full clip. Haters catch the wave or get washed in emotion. Action over doubt, that's the hustle bear doctrine. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Ay, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed. I woke up with a mission like the rent due on my oxygen. Purpose in my pocket, every loss became a document. I'm calibrated differently, my hustle got a doctorate. Turn my fears to employees, got them working on my confidence. Life hit me with storms, but I learned how to monetize the rain. Pain became a passport, now I travel through the strain. People love excuses, cause excuses never change. But action pay the bills, that's the truth inside the game. Had to cut some ties there, weight don't climb. If your circle ain't moving, then you running out of time. I ain't waiting on a sign, I was born to be a beacon. Hunger ain't a mindset, it's a language I speak in. Every day is overtime, I ain't got no halftime. Walking with a lion heart, built it from the bad times. Legacy's a contract, God signed the bottom. Now I hustle like the devil, never wanted me to blossom. I done fought my own shadows, had to box with my doubts. Took the quiet route to freedom, now my voice too loud. You can measure a man's truth by the storms he survives. I took every closed door as a gem for my mind. Pressure got a flavor, I've been learning how to taste it. Fear is just a wire that your courage gotta break with. This grind ain't pretty, it's sweat, grit, pavement. But comfort is a prison and dreams don't do arrangements. I came from the trenches of excuses and delay. Now discipline the engine, keep me pushing through the day. I ain't working for the moment, I'm investing in a name. When your legacy the mission, every step becomes a flame. People talk potential like it's somehow gonna save them, but potential's just a debt, action's how you gotta pay it. Success ain't in the future, it's a choice in the now. And if you waiting on approval, you ain't ready for the crown. I've been running through the pain like a treadmill on fire. See the ashes of my doubts, that's the proof I'm getting higher. Every no became a hammer, built a kingdom out of trials. Faith drove the steering wheel while hustle held the tires. Ain't no elevator up, just the stairs of intention. Gotta climb with conviction, every step is a lesson. The grind is a mirror, what you see is a reflection. If you lazy with your actions, you gon' struggle with direction. Had nights where I cried, but the tears paid dues. Had fights with my pride, but the growth came through. Every scar got a purpose, every bruise got a clue. If you scared of the fall, you ain't ready for the view. I'm a soldier for the dream, that's the oath that I keep. Motivation ain't a moment, it's a promise you repeat. If you walking with excuses, you ain't walking with me. And if you want another level, you should hustle like a beast. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
What scares you more? Knowing that your life is going in the wrong direction, or knowing that you're not even in the driver's seat? Comment hustle if you're ready to jump in the driver's seat and start your affiliate marketing journey today.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 39, day 2, and we are right at 15 minutes into today's challenge. And you know, I just have to start off by saying this. I got started doing the live today anticipating something was going to go wrong. I was anticipating some tech issues, and I was pleasantly surprised. The live posted in the private group seems like it's streaming there now. Now, unless it does something different, unless it changes, unless when I pull it up right now, it disappears somehow, It's still there. Okay. So I don't have to fumble around getting the link, pasting it into the private group, or, later on having to re-upload it. That's a plus. That's a win. When when situations go the way they're supposed to go, that is always a win. It's not always a given. It's not a given that things are going to go perfect just because you want them to go perfect. I've kind of gotten used to challenges. I've been used to challenges all my life, but sometimes you want to have those perfect outcomes, those perfect days. Now, I haven't talked about the weather in the last live, but looking outside, the sun is out. It's starting to become pretty nice outside. The weather is starting to break, as they say. And as the weather breaks, people start to come out. As the weather breaks, you start to hear the birds chirping a little bit more. Traffic is still moving smoothly, but as the weather starts to heat up, traffic starts to get a little bit thick. More cars on the road, more people going here, there, everywhere. So when that happens, just like in your online marketing life, when things start to heat up, you have to be prepared for that heat. You have to find something that, gives you a little shade, possibly. Something that, you know, keeps you a little cool. You have to change up your wardrobe a little bit, right? You have to change up your style. Instead of walking feeling frigid and cold, right? The cold weather hits you and you have that tight kind of walk. You're pulling your clothes tight. Now the weather starts to break and starts to get warmer where you feel a little bit more looser and relaxed. But you still have to be on point. You still have to be aware that, there's other things that happen, right? When it starts to get warmer outside, when it starts to heat up, when it starts to get hot, then you have to be aware that, hey, you can't just fully expose yourself to the elements because there is a such thing as sunburn. You can still get burned even when things look perfect, right? So you have to make sure that you have a healthy balance of protection. Now, where am I going with that? I don't know, but maybe we'll find our way to using that. Hopefully, that tidbit of information right there, that journey that we just went on, will be a light bulb moment for someone to be able to use. It's actually a light bulb moment for me. I'm thinking back, playing it again, and yeah, I know how to use that. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to focus and do what it was that I've been planning on doing for a couple of days. See, I plotted, I planned, and I strategized. I thought about what's going to be the next step and the next level for me to achieve. Now, it's long overdue. It's, something that I need to do more of. Now, I do it often. I might not tell you guys about it, but, you know, this particular one was something that I wanted to do so that I can present more value to my community and be laser focused on a specific group of people. So, what is it that I did? Well, I created what I would call a premium live. Well, a premium presentation video. And the presentation video, it was kind of referenced in that beginning training from one of our business partners, one of our favorite business partners, the AI. It talked about comments and the power of comments and how comments can be just as powerful as your post. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your post that helps you get leads. It could be your comments, your input, the way that you introduce yourself to a whole new audience of people that's observing a specific situation. People that are looking at a post and they see something in that particular post and they say, wow, that looks interesting. This Hustler's 10-minute challenge. And they see that post, they stop, they stare. It's kind of like standing out front of a store and there's a mannequin behind the glass and is dressed up nice. It has a nice outfit on that nobody has ever seen before, and it is so attractive that people just stop and stare. And then people start to comment. People start to talk about it. People start to point out different things about that mannequin, that outfit, that product, that service, whatever it is. They say, "Hey, I wonder what type of material that is. That looks like some pretty premium material, something that I've used before and I know it holds up." Hmm. Now people are looking at that outfit and now they're listening to you. Now they're thinking to themselves, well, I wonder what type of material is it? It looks nice. It looks good to me, but I'm not into fashion. So I don't know what is quality. I don't know what quality looks like. But this person just said something that may be an indicator that they're more of an expert at, you know, in the clothing industry. Hmm. What is it? What is it about this scene that they know about that maybe I need to, you know, maybe stick around and listen just a little bit more? Now, the person standing there, they're looking at it and they're saying, look how that's tailored. It's perfectly tailored. That model, that mannequin, the average mannequin size is this proportion. You start throwing out things that lets you know that they know a little bit about what's going on here. Now, if anybody knows the average size of a mannequin, that might not mean a lot to you right now. But just imagine standing looking at a window shopping, group of people surrounding the window, and then somebody says the dimensions of the average mannequin. And they say, well, in real life terms, that's this size person. That right there is a piece of garment that fits this person or that person. Now they're adding value to a scene. They're adding value to what you visually see. Now you can see the picture even clearer. Once when they tell you what the size is, you might not even know, but everybody, you know, I've never seen a fat mannequin before, right? There probably are. I know there has to be. I haven't seen one, but I believe that there are fat mannequins, right? But nobody really knows the standard size. But for someone to point out the standard size and for someone to be looking on at the garment there, they could be thinking to themselves, man, that looks nice. I wonder if they have that in my size. Or if it could be something for someone else. I wonder if that would fit this person. And then somebody comes along and they give value. They give an answer. They say, hey, that size right there has to be a size whatever. And then they point to different details. Once again, the fabric, what type of material that looks like. Then they add more value. Hey, I've owned something that looks like that and it tends to hold up in the wash. You don't want to dry clean that. You want to wash that on this, that, and the third, right? Now, people are focused on you. They're looking at you. They might not look directly at you. They might still want to focus on the picture, but then they might start moving in a little bit closer to you. They're a little bit closer now. And at this point, their intention isn't to just stare at the picture anymore because they've gotten all of the view that they need out of it or what they think they have out of it. Now they want to get more of the information from you. And then they possibly start a conversation. Wow, hey, it sounds like you know a little bit about this stuff here. I have a friend, or I'm thinking about making a purchase, and heard you mention about the material. I've never heard of that. Is that a good blend? Is that a this, that, and the third? And now you turn to them and you start to have a conversation. Well, yes, I'm familiar with this. And, I've actually purchased a few things like this before. I've been through this situation before where, I had to make a decision about a buy-in purchase of a garment kind of like this. And I found that it tends to last for a couple of years if you take care of it properly. Now, I'm no expert. I didn't create the garment, but I do know a few different tips and tricks in order to maintain it. Now, the person is looking because they're saying to themselves, well, hey, this is pretty expensive. This is a pretty expensive, outfit. And I would hate to get something that, I purchase and then I don't know how to take care of it. And it ends up being something that I can only wear a couple of times. And then, I'm out of my money, so to speak. So now you become a person of value. Whereas, what are those tips that you have? That's the next thought that a person might have. Well, a logical thinking person might have, right? And they ask, hey, well, what are those tips? I'm about to go in there and make this purchase, but, what are those tips that you have? Well, you know, I actually write and discuss different types of garments. I have a blog, I have a page, I have a website that goes in depth about this stuff. So, hey, if you're thinking about purchasing it, then you might want to visit my website, my page. Here's my card. Or, hey, just pull up your phone right now and you know, I'll send you a message with the link. And once when you go and make your purchase, then you can go check it out. I don't want to keep you from doing what you're currently doing because that was never my intention to stop you from being on your way. But since you found what I have to offer to be valuable, why not, check me out after you get done doing what you're doing? And then you walk away. Hmm. That's kind of like the comment section. That's kind of like the comment section. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be interesting, it could be funny, it could be enlightening, it could be just something just comical. Somebody could just, it could be a post that's simply about nothing. And you just make a funny remark. And next thing you know, you have 10, 20, 30 likes and comments below your comment saying, hey, that's exactly what I was thinking about. That's the way my mind works. Now you found a group of people with some common bonds that, if they if they have commonality with you in this particular situation, they might have some commonality with you in other situations. If they like to laugh and joke with you about the same type of content, then maybe they might have a little bit more serious side like you, and they might be interested in, the same things that you are. And one of the things that we have of interest for a vast amount of people is that we are on a path to growing online businesses with the intentions of supplementing our income or fully replacing the income we have. And 99.9% of the people in the world, they all want to make more money. Now, do they want to do the work required to make more money? That's a whole nother story. But I want you to think about this also. How many people have you come in contact with or known throughout your life that they're not particularly interested in doing a particular thing, but just the mere fact that you are going to be involved in it, they say, "Well, okay, I'll try it. Okay, I'll come along. Yeah, that's not my thing, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it costs that to do it. I've never done it, but since it's with you, you know, I got a little extra money, so hey, I'll come and join you on this journey." How many of you know people like that that will only do something based off of if their favorite person or someone that they really like or are close to is willing to do it? I know a lot of people like that, you know. Me personally, I don't like to do things alone a lot. I find it to be boring. I'm not, just going to go out to a bar or to a club and stuff like that by myself. I don't do that on a regular. But friend said, "Hey, I'm going here, I'm going there, and I know that's not your thing, but you might we might enjoy this outing. We can, just chill, hang out, and we might have a good time. You might be a little hesitant because once again it's not your thing, but then you say, "Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm really just going to hang out with my friend." And that's how relationships build. And that's how relationships grow. And that's how your online business relationships can actually blossom. Now, the thing that I did was this, just as referenced in that intro training, I created a long form training. So it's just a tad bit over an hour long, where I go a little bit more in depth about the power of the comment section and the 5 powerful types of comments that will help draw people to your page. Now, it's very important. You might not understand it right off top now, but the name of the game you should know when it comes to building your online business, when it comes to building a successful business, period, is getting traffic. And you want to take advantage of every opportunity to get traffic that you can. And one of the best opportunities to get traffic that is really kind of laser focused and that's really targeted traffic, is when it just happens by accident, when it just happens, organically, as they say. Now, imagine, I want you to think about this. Imagine you're standing outside with a sign that says, "Hey, fancy new suit, come inside. Fancy new suit, come inside." How many times have you walked by somewhere and you seen somebody holding up a sign and you know right off top it's an advertisement? It's a marketing stunt. They're standing outside, they're flipping signs, they're doing cartwheels, they're doing all these things. And all you can do is you're looking at them and you're laughing. You're not really interested in what they're talking about, but you just interested in the fact that, hey, I see these type of people everywhere. They're flipping signs, they're doing this. Yeah, they're marketing for a particular store, and then you just ignore it because you recognize an ad when you see it. And a lot of people, they get turned off by advertisements. They get turned off by being told that they need something instead of them feeling like, hey, I think I need this, based off of their own, you know, initiation. Now, somebody flipping the sign for that same outfit, They might attract some people, a lot of people, but when it just happens organically, when somebody sees the outfit organically, like, and doesn't even have to be, once again, your particular store, and they're stopping and they're staring at it because they're looking at the actual product, or they're looking at something that interests them, and then you come up alongside them once again as the owner of another store that sells similar products and services, and you're able to add that value once again and throw in tidbits. You're there standing next to that person once again, and you're adding value. You're filling in the missing pieces that the picture itself doesn't give the person. Now, the situation has changed. It's made you look like someone that the person that's observing wants to be connected with. And that could be more powerful than you doing your own post. So, I don't want to keep you guys too long in today's live because we know what today is. Today is Training Day Tuesday. And of course, today we have a live training that's going to be held by one of my business partners, Mr. Wayne Crow. And recently, the time has changed. We lost an hour, which means, well, for every yin, there's a yang, right? We lost the hour on one day, but in that change of time, it actually made it so that it gets darker later. So instead of it getting dark around 5 o'clock, five something, you know, even though it's just an hour change, it seemingly makes like a 2 or 3 hour difference, right? It start to get dark like 7, 8 o'clock instead of 5. So, you know, it works to our favor. And as things heat up and things get warmer outside, people tend to want to stay out later. They want to observe things a lot more. They want to be in the presence of, the outside and doing things because they feel a little bit more free. They don't have to bundle up as much, and they can do what it is that they want to do. So it says in 5 hours and 20 minutes, which would put us, that would put us at about 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. EST time. So we know our normal Tuesday training usually is around 2 o'clock, right? So due to the time change, since this is, based out of the UK, United Kingdom, where my business partner is, that live is going to be at 3 p.m. EST today, unless something changes in between time. So expected to be at 3. And the title of this live webinar is New Site, New VIP, One Night Only, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Now, 7 p.m. UK time. But, for us here in the US, EST time, that will be 3 p.m. EST. So, as we look at this number over here that we always or often look at, it says 55 commissions have been paid to members in the last 24 hours. I anticipate that to jump a lot after today's live training. And I'm going to hit this promote button right here so that we can go a little bit more in depth and learn a little bit more about what we can possibly expect. Now, I have somewhat of an idea because there's some key terms in there. It says new VIP, which within this opportunity, within this business, I am a VIP. So it's something highly of interest to me because it's speaking directly to me and people like myself within this organization. So I'm excited to hear what's going to happen there. And new site, We've talked about this over the course of the last couple of weeks. We are upgrading our current site, our current dashboards, our current, foundational, you know, uh, front door. We're remodeling the mansion, so to speak. The mansion is getting a facelift. So there's going to be multiple ways to get access to the system, multiple new things within the system itself. And you have the opportunity to learn about that today. And it's one night only, right? So, what does it say here? Tuesday night is the only public reveal of what we've been building behind the scenes. For the first time, Wayne is going live to unveil the brand new OLSP website and the completely rebuilt VIP program. And the truth is simple: everything's changing. Not a few updates, not some improvements, a full reset, a full rebuild, a new standard. Powerful. Now, some people, they like to do updates, simple little tweaks on things, right? Something that, a lot of people, if they might not even notice a difference. But to be able to do a complete and a full reset and a rebuild, and to enhance the standard, to raise the bar, that does something, once again, that I mentioned in the previous live. That puts everybody on the same playing field level. Everybody has to start off learning all of the new ways of doing things within the system. Everybody has to start off the same way. And that leaves it so that, once again, everybody gets to start off knowing the same exact thing. And it's on you, if you're the right person, to take hold of that, jump in, start to learn as much as you can, as fast as you can, so that you can be the one to present it to the whole world before anyone else can, so that you can be in the first wave of people during a launch to bring something to the world, so that you're the person that's standing side by side with them as they're looking at that window and they're seeing this new shiny product, this service, and now you're able to speak to what it is that they're looking at confidently and be able to inform them so that they can make the best decision possible, right? So this isn't a normal webinar where you already know what's coming. This is the night where the curtain gets pulled back, where you'll see the new direction, the new experience, and the new opportunity that will define what OLSP looks like going forward. All new, once again. This is the moment designed for you, because along with the reveal, there will be a one-night launch offer that has never been available before and will not be available again. Built specifically to reward the people who show up live for the announcement. No replays, no second chances, no "I'll grab it tomorrow." We know how people like to delay and people like to put things off and they like to come up with things. Hey, I'll get to it later. I don't have time now. But if something is valuable enough and if something is important enough for you to achieve, you will make it work. You will find a way to be there, to look at it, to check out the information so that you don't miss out on this one night launch offer. Now, opportunities, we know when it comes to certain opportunities in life, you only get one chance. You only get one chance to make it. And if you don't take advantage of an opportunity in the lifetime of that opportunity, then it's missed. And that's on you. But hopefully, even if you miss it, which I hope you don't, but if you miss that once in a lifetime launch opportunity, hopefully it doesn't prevent you from taking advantage of it when the time is possibly more right for you. Now, of course, the pricing, as they say, as Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price, right? So expect that. Expect that you're not going to get the same deals, the same opportunity that you will today. Now, if you care about getting in early, being part of what's next, and seeing what's changing before everyone else, hear about it. This is what you need to do. You need to be on today's live. And that's why, today I'm going to take some time. I'm going to get to work, continuing creating content, continuing building and creating more value so that, once when everything is launched and once when everything is ready to go, I'm fully prepared to be in position to have everything lined up, everything in place, so I can jump in, start learning the things that I know 99% of people aren't willing to learn. See, this is where things get fun, where it gets fun for me anyway. I'm gonna be a little petty right now because we've we've we have our system the way it is, and it's been like that for, let's say, a couple of years now. There's still people that don't know the basics about our system the way it currently is. It's people that, they really don't even care to learn about all of the little details and all of the things that we have access to. But me, myself, I care. I dive deep into different aspects of what we do. I know of different, you know, features of specific tools that a lot of people don't know about. And that puts me in a position to become an expert in that particular tool or aspect of the website, this tweak, this little tip, this little trick. So that's one of my superpowers. I'm willing to actually learn. Whereas when everybody online is promoting, hey, no experience, no tech skills needed, no this, no that, you can be brainless, aimless, and you'll still be successful, which no, you can't really. You have to be willing to learn, but they'll put it out there in the world that you can be just hollow inside, and next thing you know, somehow miraculously, you're going to have a full wallet. You're going to make a whole lot of money. And a lot of people fall for that. They believe that. They believe that they can get away with not doing anything, not learning anything, and that they'll be successful. And that's not the case. But me personally, I know the truth. I know that it takes learning, developing, growing, and building upon what you know in order to reach success. It might take a little bit longer. It might put you in some days where, as the weather is heating up and the days are seemingly getting longer, it might put you in a position where you're taking a lot more time. You're still not able to go out and see or experience that extended daylight time because you're grinding, you're hustling, you're putting in the work, you're going through the reps, you're learning how to actually do what's important, building your online business. So if you're interested, I want you guys to show up today live. And how do you actually get access to today's live? Well, you get access to today's live by first accessing the most valuable document in all of online marketing and clicking on what I consider to be the second line in the document, the grab your mega link document. Now, I believe that everybody needs to make an investment in themselves. And a $7 investment into an opportunity that will allow you to change your life for the better, that's minimal. That's the cost of a couple of seeds, right? You purchase the seeds, you're able to plant that, and you can grow a harvest. You can grow something that can sustain you for possibly the rest of your life if you use the skills the right way. And most people don't use the skills the right way. That's a whole nother topic of discussion. But if you're willing to learn, then that minimal investment will yield a harvest for you. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm not going to talk about too much of the training that I created, besides the fact that it's going to help you build upon our system here. But if you are interested in this opportunity here, once when you get access to your mega link, I will send you my exclusive training to help you dominate the comment section and attract more traffic to your page. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. And I want to close out today with some music as usual, right? But yesterday I was in a good mood. I was creating some music and I said to myself, man, this next album, this Welcome to the Hustleverse Volume 2, we still got some time to go before that gets released because we still vibing off of Volume 1, the album of the year. And I wanna really focus on that album because it's very powerful. It's something that I believe if everybody heard it, if everybody listened, if everybody, took the time to do what was necessary to get access to it, to listen to it, I believe that they will enjoy it. And I believe that it's the album of the year for a few reasons. We provide something that nobody else in the world, I believe, is providing. We don't do things the way everybody else do it. I'm proud of that because I never want to be cookie cutter. And I know there's with the little bit of love that we have, I know there's probably a whole lot more hate that comes along with that. And the greater you say you are, and the greater that you believe yourself to be, there's gonna be people that want to dispute that and say, nah, no, it's not this, it's not that. Well, I'm not going to talk to them in my New York accent right now. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep everything PG, but they know what they can do with that opinion. But I want to play something, and I'm scrolling through my content because I have so much content, right? I'm a content creator, and I'm trying to see what it is that I want to play because we've built a good catalog of music. We've built so much together. Hopefully, you've taken part in the Hustlers 10 Minute a Day Challenge, creating your music, your songs, and that's just the first level. You create the songs, and then you move on to using our favorite tools in order to create the visuals, and you turn those visuals into videos. And now you have a full-fledged skill where you can create and edit videos for just about anybody. They don't have to be a music artist. They could be a local store. But as you're learning the skills in a fun way, it gives you the ability to do other things that, you know, is built to possibly put more of an income in your pocket, right? So I think I want to play the Welcome to the Hustleverse official music video, and then we're going to close out. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you later on today in the live training, and see you tomorrow for tomorrow's live.
Welcome to the hustleverse, with dreams spark like stars. We gon' light up the dark. If you're feeling the grind, know you're playing your part. Staying tall in this maze, every beat is a heart.
Welcome to the hustleverse, where dreams collide. Feel the fire in your soul, let ambition be a guide. Winners never stop, they rise and thrive. In this hustleverse, we come alive.
Step into the game, it's more than just a phase. Concrete jungle vibes, yeah, we sculpting our ways. Counting every struggle like a chef with his blade. Chasing after visions, no time for charades. Late nights, bright lights, putting hours we grind. Ain't no shortcut to greatness, gotta sharpen your mind. Building castles from the dirt, watch my empire unwind. Each step, each loss is a lesson aligned. Got my team by my side, loyalty's a must. Family over everything, in the ground we trust. Stacking up the wins, watch the haters combust. We painting our future, every whisper of gust. Through the pain, through the struggle, we hustle and flow. Every setback's a setup for the bigger show. Dreamers turn to doers, let the real ones know. In this hustle verse, it's our time to glow.
Welcome to the hustleverse, where dreams collide. Feel the fire in your soul, let ambition be a guide. We rise from the grind together, side by side. In this hustleverse, we come alive.
Remember the days we was broke, had a dream. Chasing visions, putting word like a laser beam. Now we stacking up the wins, pitching to the team. Got that vision in our sights, we gon' reign supreme. Every doubt, every struggle's produced by design. Turn the pain into power and claim it was mine. Manifest the essence, let the stars align. In this hustle verse, yeah, the world will be mine. Never backing down, I'm the lion in this den. Counting blessings while I hustle, let the grind begin again. With my heart on my sleeve and a fire in my pen. I'm a soldier in this game, every loss a close friend. Grab the legacies, busting through the confines. My spirit never breaks, I'm the one that defines. Brick by brick, I'm building out these lifelines. In this hustle verse, together we rise and shine.
Now we stand on top, looking back at the past. All the sleepless nights, yeah, they molded my path. On the wall within me, you can feel the aftermath. In this hustle verse, baby, we just do the math. Counting every blessing like I'm adding up scores. Broke down the doors, now we kicking in floors. Dreams to reality, now we living for more. In this hustle verse, yeah, we're ready to soar. They say the sky's the limit, we're breaking up charts. From the bottom to the top, every piece plays a part. With the real ones beside me, we gon' play it smart. In the truth of the struggle, that's where legends start. So here's to the hustle, keep your head in the game. Chase your passion, feel the fire, then remember your name. In this hustle verse, we ignite like a flame. With our dreams as a fuel, we'll never be the same.
Feel the rhythm of the heart, hear the echoes of the past. In this hustle verse of dreams, they are built to last. Keep your vision clear, let the shadows be cast. Together we rise, hold on tight, cause we're
Rest it
set
for the
fast.
hustle verse, where dreams collide. Feel the fire in your soul, let ambition be your guide. Together we elevate, reaching for the sky. In this hustle verse, forever we rise high.
Yeah, this is for the dreamers, for the ones who believe. In the hustle verse, together building what we need. With every step forward, we're planting a seed. Welcome to the hustle verse, it's more than a creep. Keep hustling, keep grinding, let the world hear you. Together we create our spirits breaking through. In the hustle verse, baby, we always stay true. Welcome to the hustle verse. Welcome to the hustle verse.
up to silence. Dreams still heavy, phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane, but I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night, scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day sounded small at first, but in silence even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink, mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted, but now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain, cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, it's a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear.